Layoffs, rescinded offers, even entry level doesn't feel like entry level anymore. What's your way of navigating the AI world?
Look, one of the pieces of advice, especially for young people, is to say,
Reid Hoffman is the founder of LinkedIn, and with AI changing everything, we are talking about how to land a job even if you're starting from scratch.
What if I don't have any connections? Where can I go as a starting point?
well, I wouldn't send a connection request.
We talk about mistakes a lot of students make
I just send in resumes. Do you have a job for me?
and what to do, especially given this crazy job market.
What's your opinion on the open to work badge? Does it make you seem desperate?
If you have this thin profile that doesn't say very much, then yes.
What would you rate my LinkedIn profile?
I'd say,
As the co-founder of LinkedIn, one of the largest networking job seeking platforms in the world, if I wanted to land a job, what is the best practices on LinkedIn for that?
fill out a relatively full profile. It doesn't just have to be, pure everything you've done in work experience, but you also want to let skills and other kinds of things so that people have a good sense of you. Connect with people that know you well enough that they can say something positive about you. They have some experience. It might be a family friend who's come over for dinner. This is a smart kid, or whoever, et cetera.
The warm connections.
Yes, the warm connections. Well, in part because that's also how people will discover you. That's how people, when they're saying, hey, should I take a chance on this person? What they might do is reference checking and other kinds of things as part of doing it. So do that. And then while looking at the job listings, what are companies that I might be 2 degrees away from that are interesting that I could find out information about? Get informational interviews, ask if there's a position available because a lot of positions aren't advertised, et cetera.
Okay, but what if I don't have any connections? Where can I go as a starting point?
It's how do you get a connection for someone in a company to respond to you?
Yeah.
Everyone goes for the celebrity person.
Yeah.
Right? So the number of cold call email requests I get for advice on job X, the problem is I get overwhelmed. I can't respond to any of them, right? So it's not that I dislike one or like one and I just don't have any time. But if you're like, hey, here's a manager of IT in this company, people don't usually reach out to them, right? So you find them and say, hey, can I talk to you about your company? You could create some portfolio or other kinds of things, like something that goes, oh, this is a hustling young person.
Yeah.
And don't be too discouraged about, like, if you're doing cold calls, you get a lot of ignores, a lot of no's, et cetera.
So reach out to the people who maybe aren't getting too many requests, but are still valuable in your network. And how would you actually go about framing that message? Is that something you send a connection and then ask that in? Does that not seem a little unnatural to create a connection?
Well, I wouldn't send a connection request because that's kind of saying, hey, you and I know each other, and you can try some email addresses at the company and say, hey, I saw you on LinkedIn. Here's why I'd like to talk to you, and here's who I am. And if you make it like where you're not just like, hey, it's about me. Do you have a job for me at your company? It's like, not good, right?
Yeah.
It's a, hey, here's why I thought it might be interesting for you to talk to me, and I would love your help in figuring out, is there a job of this sort at the company? That's the kind of thing you want to do. And so
like that. Showing up with value first.
Yes, exactly. And the value could even just be, hey, we're both like graduates of School X, and would you like an update on where the school's been? Because I've been there more recently than you. Even that could be
that's actually how I went about referrals, actually.
Yes, exactly. Well, and because look, I care about this being interesting to you too, as part of what you're signaling. And it's like, maybe this or maybe something else, I'd be happy to be helpful.
Interesting. Awesome. Cool. Well, because you brought up the profile, and I'm putting myself a little bit on the spot, I'd love for you to review my profile. I actually brought it in here today. Here it is. Be brutally honest.
Yeah. So in the headline section, I think it's better. Like, as I read, I will already know that you're a software engineer level 3. That doesn't really add anything. You probably want to have something in the headline that's much more like Python, Ruby, learning AI coding intensely, right? Like something that's
some skill sets.
Yeah, but also aspirational, vector, kind of what you're doing. I'm a learner. I'm doing things. So it's the vector.
Okay.
It's kind of where you're going to. Now, skills could be one part of it, and it doesn't have to be I'm planning on being a VP of engineering. That's not
Future CEO.
Yes, exactly. That's not the thing, because that then looks like, okay, but it's like I'm learning AI intensely now. Then when you get down to the about is good. You might say a little bit about, here's the kind of connections that I'm looking to form, other engineers or other entrepreneurs or this is the kind
Be a little more specific.
Yeah, a
about
little bit
that.
more specific.
So it also kind of tailors your DMs and requests from
Yes.
there.
Now, in the details in the profile, you definitely need to go into much more detail on some substance. You got some of it down here in the Amazon internship. Like, what's the kind of work you're doing in a job? So this is a technical profile. It's like, here's the languages, frameworks, other kinds of things.
Yeah. So would you say I should be as detailed as I am on my resume with the experiences on LinkedIn?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Those are probably the most important things. You know, your skill section is thin, but like, well, actually down here, nope, this is good. And so I think that's a good use of the system. Your posting activity, which is also good, because again, it gives you, you know, you say, I don't have time to post regularly.
Yeah.
Fine. Post a few that kind of show who you are, where you're going, what kinds of things you're doing, what you want to be.
I post almost every day.
You know, I know you post a lot, but many people.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, this is good. You're posting a lot.
Thank you.
For your general audience. Not everyone's going to follow you in posting as often.
Yeah.
That's great. The post here is good.
Awesome.
And you're posting, you know, kind of multimedia and everything else. You know, not surprising, you know, given you, but that's a good tip for other people as well. No, it's great.
Awesome. Cool. Out of 10, what would you rate my LinkedIn profile?
You haven't, actually, one of the things I had to go back up to check, you're well connected, which is good. And you have things with followers. I'd say 8.5.
Oh, thank you. Right. I'm honored.
To 9 is putting in more of that kind of detail in the jobs, less just factually descriptive, which of course is important to have, but adding in that kind of character hooks that if you had someone who are the kind of people that you would like to be reaching out to you.
More tailored.
Yes.
Awesome. Cool.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Now I want to shift over to talking about the tech job market. There are a lot of layoffs, rescinded offers, even entry level doesn't feel like entry level anymore. So if you were a student or a new grad navigating this tech world, what would be your frame of mind?
So one, it is a time of disruption, which means it's challenging, which means that you will encounter some challenges, but to go through them. Second, be a little more creative. Don't just think, oh, I just send in resumes and maybe someone sends the stuff back. What are the kinds of things that would give you a chance? Reach out for potentially internships and say, well, but I just graduated. Shouldn't I just go get a job? It's like, well, if you're having a challenge getting a job, what's an internship? And what would
It's an easier way to break in.
Yes, an easier way to break in. Because as people get to know you and you're fit with a particular job, then they get more interested versus the flood of people who are there, who are usually applying for jobs.
Awesome. And when we're looking at, especially with AI being that further disruptor, there are AI-related layoffs. Some companies are seeing productivity with AI, so they're like, oh, we don't need to hire any more software engineers, right? So we have a lot of excitement from the company standpoint and a lot of anxiety from new grads or people trying to break into tech. What's your way of navigating the AI world?
One of the things, especially given this conversation, that people need to know, your audience, is, oh my gosh, this is discouraging because there's going to be less entry-level jobs because of AI, and this is talked about a whole lot. Actually, in fact, being the prospective person who's bringing AI to help the organization, your depth of expertise with AI, that's your opportunity as a young person. It's like, it doesn't even matter if there's an entry-level job posted. This is the kind of thing that you should be doing. Like, look, I'm AI native.
Yeah.
I'm generation AI. I can help your organization learn AI and transform itself. That's part of the value I bring.
Interesting. So you need to do something. So I actually recommend people, if you don't have a job, try to create a startup.
Yes.
And then worst case, you get the job. Best case, you get $1 million startup.
Yes, exactly. Look, I think that's a very good idea. And by the way, like, for example, if you're out of work, because I'm working on the startup, it's like, look, I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting around on a couch.
That's still experience.
It's experience, but it also shows that you're committed to it.
One question about LinkedIn. So I've heard this be kind of a debate here and there. Open to work badge. Some people say that it's harmful to you. Some people say, no, it actually helps people filter through you. Obviously, as a co-founder of LinkedIn, you probably know a little more than the average Joe. What's your opinion on the open to work badge?
I think it's good in several circumstances and potentially less good in others. If you're in jobs that are rare or hard to find, then I think it's really good. Okay. I think if it's kind of like a flood of kind of applications jobs, you want to stand out from the pack. And so you might then choose not to do that. Whereas if a lot of people are doing that, you choose not to do that as a way of doing it. So that's kind of what the scope is. But it's one of the reasons why way back when we designed the feature, this was part of the feedback I gave the design team.
Okay. Does it make you seem desperate? Because I've heard some recruiters don't like it when you're too desperate, so it makes you seem low value.
If you have this kind of thin profile that doesn't say very much, and then you just put that, then yes. Probably a good higher order jujitsu move is to put the badge on, but then say, I put this badge on because I want to show how hardworking I am. Like it's an indication that I'm actually, in fact, like moving, like I'm committed to the kind of going into work. And it's like, I'm an active person. I learn my job. I do things. And that's part of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So like a recruiter might go, well, is it just someone who goes, look, I'll hire me. Why not? And they kind of go, well, I'm not sure that, oh, actually, it's a positive signal.
Okay, cool. So once you have your value set through your profile, it just adds to the signaling.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Reid, thank you so much for being on this video. I really hope that you guys got a lot of value out of it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Pleasure.